How's it going, everybody? It's Man of Tomorrow here. Let's wait till we get some more people up here. Like the video I'm all coming in because this is going to be really nice. You see, this is why you can't come online claiming that you're something that you can't prove within real life. But make sure you like the video I'm all coming in. This is going to be nice. How's it going, everybody? Gotta wait till some more people get in here. And so let's watch a little intro that should set the mood for tonight's show, shall we? Before we get on to whether it's rabbit or duck season. Apparently, we just found out all the secrets today. All the secrets to the game. And we're going to have to see some actual proof from other people who claim they know game as well. So let's go to the actual tape here. So let's see what happened today online.
I'll begin with how I peeled back the layers of the boy's mind. Well, he bravely tried to fight it at first. You would have been proud to see him so strong. But all too soon, the serums and the shots took their toll, and the dear lad began to share such secrets with me, secrets that are mine alone to know. Bruce. It's true, Batsy. I know everything. And kind of like the kid who peeks at his Christmas presents, I must admit, sadly anticlimactic. Behind all the sturm and batarangs, you're just a little boy in a play suit crying for mommy and daddy. It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Those guys don't play over there, man. I keep telling you guys, you cannot perpetuate this dating coach fraud among everybody within the general public. You are going to get caught. You're always going to get caught. Every single time, you're going to get caught. There's no way you could call yourself a dating coach today, not after what happened on 21 Studios live stream earlier. Just type in 21 Studios and look at what happened there. There's no way no one can be able to call themselves a dating coach today. That dude peeled back the layer of the boys' minds and the shocks and the serum. Man, they got that dude. Oh my God. What you guys have to realize is this is why you need to tie yourself and your actual credibility to an actual product that you can produce. Okay? This isn't hard. This is not hard. And we're going to have these newfound people within the Black Manosphere, the DJ Kudas, the Platinum Elites, the Sir Isms, and BGS Itmore, all these clowns who gathered around the street image. They're going to have to look at that video and actually see Rom Wills as well, and actually see how they decapitated this dude, and actually see the fraud that it is that most people perpetuate within this space. You guys have to realize that being silent towards such frauds within this society and environment was never going to last. There was going to be a time, I thought it was going to be after somebody like off themselves from one of these types of people's information that was going to be able to get them to a place to where there was going to be actual criminal charges. Because whenever you commit fraud, which is what dating coach is, every time you accept money is considered wire fraud. Every time you deposit it into a bank, it's called bank fraud. And if you ever put out any mailers or anything else electronically online to try to get people to perpetuate the actual fraud that you're a part of, is called mail fraud. They all give a ton of time for it. But see, because most people within the space believe in the dolo method, I'm going to do whatever I want until I get caught. And it doesn't matter how many people that I screw over, because at the end of the day or night, the only thing that matters is that I make as much money as possible. And that's what this was about. It was a money grab. Trying to slingshot people into an actual environment to which they had no business into engaging in the first place. This is based on this video right here. This video right here is what this is about. What's going on, Isaac? This is the video. It wasn't as crazy as he thought he was going to be making a bunch of money off of it. That's the video. So you have to understand that hold on a second. Someone just jumped in. Must be the film 11.
Yo.
Got some background.
Oh, sorry.
The actual video is in the description box. So you have to realize that within the space where the big boys play, you better have a ton of proof that whatever fraud that you are perpetuating, that you have an actual ability to prove your actual point. Because if you don't, you're going to be looking exceedingly stupid if you were to actually build your whole business model off of fraud that you can't prove. Now, you better have it. A lot of people here, none of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters at all. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, we're talking about the concept in general, overall, not specific people. It was the entire concept that was fraud in the first beginning. We were taking men who came to a place called the Manosphere, who needed real solutions within their lives. And we gave them fake solutions and we sent them back into an actual product that was forever going to need them to actually need their help forever. They like the people who perpetuated this stuff, they knew it was what it was from the first beginning. Nobody needed to tell him that this stuff was wrong. Did they need to tell him that it was wrong, Nicole? Nicole, you there?
No. They really didn't tell him that. No, they didn't. I mean, look, I saw this manosphere, black manosphere in particular, because I was over at the white manosphere. I looked at that quite a bit as well, and a lot of the guys who were there. But here, the black manosphere, this is supposed to be man's space, and this is about men's issues and us kind of having conversations and so forth, and dealing with that and developing from there. This is about development, and some of this other stuff that has been going on that we've seen, and I guess it goes on in all spaces. A lot of this, in some respects, it's not about development. And hey, it is what it is. There are going to be guys out there who are going to be supposedly the keepers of the faith or the repairers of the breach, or however you want to call it. But they're going to keep things. They're going to want to look to keep things straight. So that's I guess that's just kind of how this game goes. Difficult to say much else, but I don't know what I saw today and kind of how these guys were really going in. There's some guys who are looking at the manosphere space or their manosphere space as one that's going to be it's going to be watched rather close. And these guys have money. It's like
correct.
These guys have they're the crew of cats with big dollars. So there's a lot so it's money here, but big money there, and people who are ever going to go there, you're going to have to definitely walk carefully if you're going to make a lot of money in that space, and try to run with the ball. Those cats are going to be, you think brothers over here tight, cats over there are going to get tight.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
They going to get, them cats are going to get tight, and they're going to try to they're gonna make moves on you. Anyway, go ahead, Moti.
Yeah, so what people don't understand is that this is why you don't mortgage your credibility. You don't put your face on screen. You don't put the face of your actual loved ones on the screen being part of your fraud and con. Because once the fraud and con is up, your name will forever be associated with this moment when the grift is gone. So when people try to make it look like having your face on camera actually makes all the difference in the world of what you're actually saying, whether it's true or false, I keep telling people, men deal with ideas, not how people look, like what's going on there. And you have to realize that there is not going to be a circumstance or a situation out here to where you're going to be able to win when everybody knows your name. Because essentially, at some point, Your online name is going to be attached to your real name. Your real name is going to be tied to your past. Your past is going to be tied to your actual future. No matter who you're dating, the only thing they got to do is Google your name or even put your image in an image search, and it comes up. This is why you don't sell nonsense like this, because at some point, like, we're not even talking about court cases. We're not even talking about calling you in as an expert witness. We're not even talking about somebody who has, committed suicide. We're not even talking about a person who used this type of information and they actually got caught up in some type of R-word charges and some harassment charges. This is just simply pointing out the track record, and you can't stand up to the overall track record based on personally the things that you've done within your life that comes to light. This stuff was never going to last. I kept saying, if you do not protect this stuff from beginning to end, it's going to be overrun by people who you should have locked out in the first place. Now you got to deny all the frauds and not draw attention to them, because that draw attention to you too, because you didn't lock the door. This is where this at, man. It's unreal that we have to wait until something like this happens before people actually realize that you can't come online selling something online that doesn't work in real life. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I have a sports analogy that I look at, and even with martial arts, as I trained in karate for so many years, and jiu-jitsu, and just saw certain things. And one of the things that I saw come across, this is over the years, and it has been very true as I have looked at this over the decades. The best coaches were not the best players. I'll repeat that. The best coaches were not the best players. A lot of coaches you have out here were not the best players. And they're coaching, some of them might be able to coach you on getting some self-esteem, and getting your confidence up and so forth. But they did have a real system to teach you, and they weren't the best players, but they became very, very good coaches. That might apply here as well. I'm not sure. I can't say. I cannot look at this player's market or this dating coach game and all that. I really don't mess with this. I don't. But some stuff came up on my radar today that I found rather interesting, and I think that's why we're talking here. But maybe not all the best coaches, or let's say the coaches were not the best players. So maybe that's true for here as well. It's, hard for me to say. I'm really not looking at this, but if you are in this game and you are going to say that, you are in this, I do think you have to come in here very, very credibly, especially if you're going to play on that side of the fence, or certain sides of the fence you're going to play, and you're going to have to come across. you have to be very credible in the things that you're breaking down and are trying to sell folks, because if they're not, there's going to be issues. And I don't know what else to say, except I think that's just how this thing is going on. I think this is how things are going to be going forward. Wouldn't you say, MOT?
Yeah, I mean, because it brings a whole type of flashlight on everybody who is associated with said person, right? And if they're in the same career field, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he has a live stream that has a bunch of different YouTubers on it. When he got rid of the people who was on some drama out of there, and then turned around, he was the head drama maker himself. To be quite honest, and it's like You know, you're not going to be able to get away with this stuff forever. That's just not the way these things are going to work. You're not going to be able to go over on that side of the fence and piss people off. Once you start pissing people off on that side of the fence, they're going to come after you. And you better make sure that you got a rock solid legal team that can be able to come after people if they ever come after your credibility. None of this stuff is really that hard. But they turn a space that was for male progress into a space where grifters can come in and shuttle people back into the circumstances they should have left alone in the first place. So it's on the person who actually came to the space with the idea of monetizing lost men and trying to put them back into a situation that they shouldn't be in, right? No, there's going to be blame to go around on all sides, but at the end of the day, this is why you have standards for a group. The media tomorrow can take off with this story and be like, look, we need to get rid of all these guys because all these guys are like this particular guy. And that's normally what is being looked for whenever they're trying to shut down a particular group. Or don't like the actual context in which the group actually goes at.
Yeah. I mean, they've been coming after the MGTOWs and the men going your own way and the men's rights people. They've been because I was very heavily involved with that. Definitely still very much consider myself very much MGTOW, regardless what people like it or not. I give less than a damn, especially at my age. But certainly, this space was certainly, designed for these types of issues and for men overall to get better. Certainly here on the black side of the game, we really want to see black men definitely think better, especially with business, politically, economically, certainly socially. And it's challenging at times because you got some folks rolling through who want some next shit. But at the end of the day, this is about our betterment, and we need just to stick with that. I mean, we can debate. We can have many debates with respect. We can have many different debates, but we should be sticking to that point. And there's money to be made and all that. We understand, but we should always have that first and foremost in our minds. I think to better ourselves as opposed to weakening ourselves and certain aspects of the system that need to be discarded. We should be discarding instead of playing into it. Anyway, go ahead, MOT.
Yeah, so it's like what people need to get is that being first to market or being one of the first to market does put you in an advantageous position. But if you're going to be in an advantageous position, you need to make fully certain and aware that you have a lot of people who are powerful watching your back. You need most importantly, people who are protecting your secrets. And you can't have people protecting your secrets are the people who's going to be out in the stuff in the first place. Like, this is why you don't connect yourself to this type of concept. Even though this person did put out all this information, it puts out everybody who's kind of associated with the actual concept of coaching people through circumstances. It put all of them in a bad light. Every single one of them. Every single one of them, it puts them within the bad light. Any person who's had any type of association or anything else. And this is why people wonder why a certain person who's recently got some large long-term success, why he locked the door and kept everybody out of it. Because something like this, which he was a part of for a little while, can happen. Where these things happen and your association with said people can actually blow up in your face, and you have to explain that to certain people. Advertisers at some point. The cancel culture is huge out there. They're looking for one thing, one tweet, one text message, one something that happened within your life previously that another person is going to come out and actually talk about that can really cause you your actual credibility. Look at the actual Derek Jackson situation. Same thing. He married who he married. He was with, a person for a period of time, no longer with her. What did she do? Went right to the airwaves and right to the internet to tell the whole world that she was with this guy. These people don't keep secrets like that for a while, man. They don't keep secrets like that. So you wonder why people don't want to keep associations with certain people once they make it to a specific point. It's the fact that anything within your past can come back and disrupt your actual newfound success. And people do not understand how that works for some reason. No?
Yeah, I would have to pretty much agree. That's absolutely true. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to bring this point up. Maybe some will agree or may not, but folks out here are pocket watching. They're watching how much money you're making too. They're looking at that. You're making a lot of bread. You're taking down $250,000 in a quarter. You're taking down. Next quarter. You got half a bar working. Half a bar. Keep that going for the whole year. You're at a full bar. A bar is a bar. People, I'm sure, are maybe aware of that or not, but it's, or we call one big one as well as $1 million. And one big one. One bar is it's pretty good. Pretty good for a year's income. So folks watching your bread. And they think you're froggy, they're gonna tell you leap off that pad. It is what it is. So keep your eyes. Yeah. Anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be specific, but I get what you're saying. It's just that this is where we are, man. It's just that this is why you cannot bring your ass online and sell game without receipts, constant receipts. If you are a dating coach, there needs to be a season 1 girl, a season 2 girl, a season 3 girl, a season 4 girl, a this quarter girl, or that quarter girl. Because at the end of the day, if none of that stuff's happening, then quite the likelihood that none of this stuff is true in total, period. And it's not going to take a lot of people following you around. Like, you don't have to pay a private investigator to put a man on this guy to realize that these circumstances were not true. As a person who used to be in that field, I can tell fraud when I hear it. I can tell fraud when I'm listening to it. And especially the type of people who associate themselves with such fraud that anybody can connect themselves to it going forward. And a lot of people have to understand that, dude, you're going to get caught, man. In this America, you're going to get caught. You always will get caught. Just like a bank robber. They don't go looking for bank robbers, because a bank robber who got that easy money is going to want to keep robbing bank after bank after bank under the same circumstances, or maybe slightly different. And your ass will end up getting caught because they know that that type of thirst that you have for that quick money and that actual circumstance is always going to keep representing itself over and over again. And then you keep thinking that you're slicker than the circumstances where they're laying for your ass. They're laying for you. And you don't even know it. You walking in there thinking that you're dealing with some mall cop and that dude and put hands on you. Your ass is arrested. Don't even know. Man, you've been through this, 4 or 5 times. Man, I got away with this stuff a lot. Because they were laying for you. They knew you were coming at some point. And this is what people don't get. You can't keep going back to the same grifting and hustling ways within the same environment, and people don't get smart to that stuff, man. You know?
Man, I don't have anything else to say. I'm sorry. I think you said it. That's just where I think it is, and I'm not saying that even a lot of these guys are just even grifting, but if people don't, because there's certainly folks out here hardcore grift. So I'm not calling anybody else grifters, but there are folks who are. But if people don't think that you're representing a situation properly, and then you're saying that you have this, and then in actuality when you actually have this, it's a lot of people call themselves pimps, but they don't have a string.
Yeah.
I despise pimps. One thing I do know about real pimps, they got a string, man. They rolling with a string. They ain't talking. They got this string. Got a party. Somebody invite them out. And they come out there. They bring it in. They bring it in 5, 10, 15 pieces. Now I'm not talking about no junk either. Some, pieces. Because they got the A team, and then they got then they got their B team. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway,
yeah, man, like this is where we are, and it's just that this is why you have to make sure going forward that you have a way of looking at the information that you're actually looking at, to be able to understand that this stuff is actually entertainment and it's not to be practiced on your actual personal life. That entertainment and actual fields of study that actually solve problems are way different than internet hucksters that you come up with online. They're way different. And these things mimic actual fields of study, and you could be in a lot of trouble if your ass started to get pulled up on these fraud charges.
Wow, they're actually going for fraud charges and certain, these guys are going for fraud charges on people. They're trying to lock folks up out here. So
they will.
In certain arenas, they're trying to get you locked. They're trying to get you locked up. So, definitely this. I can look at this YouTube stuff and say, hey, there's a lot of fun stuff about it. But if you're going to get out there and play in certain arenas and represent certain things, or represent certain products, if you will, a certain product. You're gonna have to be verifiable.
Yeah, because if not, you're gonna run into one of these situations where people start pulling up the actual track record, and you're not gonna be able to defend it going forward. I mean, individual, went on Patreon during the actual stream, but there ain't nobody you're gonna be able to have unsee that.
Yeah.
You won't be able to. So it's like, this is what I kept telling people about these street class frauds who come into the actual manosphere itself, thinking that they're perpetuating the fraud amongst people. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna be able to get away with this for a long ass period of time. Somebody's gonna pull your whole card and actually make you prove your point. Somebody's gonna come to your city and they're gonna have your ass on tape where you're not doing any of the stuff that you say that you're doing, that you have the same level of relevance in everybody else within the actual circumstance out here. So this is why I say there's no reason for anybody to be believing anything, no matter what the career field is, without a string of actual receipts for the product that you're actually putting out there. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to know specifically what things look like before you actually engage in it, because you can't depend on people's naivete to continuously get you paid on certain things. The problem is this stuff, the bottom is going to fall out of this stuff. And anybody associated with that concept, which seems to be a lot of large YouTubers, is going to take down the whole damn thing from beginning to end. Now everybody's going to be looking around trying to cover their own ass and trying to clean up their own track record and trying to sanitize their actual online track record of associations when trying to answer the specific question of this dating market and environment through non-publishable receipts is come to an end. You're not going to be able to do this stuff going forward.
Well, I'm going to say this. I mean, you can. I mean, I myself, when I look at the dating coaches, because I just say I don't mess in this environment, so I ain't getting caught up into this.
Oh man.
But one of the things that I do say, and I say this because I think I try to be balanced with everything. Try at least. If I'm looking at a lot of these dating coaches, they do good, I think, with respect to maybe help people get self-esteem, and they can help to build that. They can give you methods to help to build that, and help people to kind of build confidence. I think if you're doing that, that's advantageous. I think that there's certain big advantages to that. I certainly do think so. But I do believe if you're definitely going to go over to that more white sector, if you go into that sector and you're going to go hard in there, your brother, and you clock it, and you clock in dollars, you're going to be exceedingly closely watched, and no room for errors, people.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. No room for error. So go ahead.
I mean, but they've been playing these dudes within the space for fools for the better part of 3 or 4 years, thinking that a certain individual can pass off his genetic currency as actual success within the actual dating environment. It was always fraud. You never seen this person go out and practice XYZ certain things. And it doesn't matter whether you're the largest or to the smallest, it's the same concept. So when people say, oh, this person is more real than this person right here, dude, it's the concept that you can't prove. It's unprovable. Like I said, there is no proof. So, and this is why you don't solve your self-esteem issues with easily gotten women. You solve it with solving your self-esteem issue. You solve it by going to get real and actual help for whatever issues that you got. Because trying to feed your best self to the worst people out here quickly is not going to have you end up having a good result. That's never the way that's been able to work in no other time in history, and now isn't going to be one of those times either.
Facts. Facts.
Because she's getting the best product no matter what she offers to the table. You see, that is what's never brought up. She doesn't have to do anything but wait till a better deal come around. So if you're being coached into not only making yourself the best deal, but turning around and giving it to people that you shouldn't be giving it to, that's also a problem. And this is why your actual productivity should be kept to self once worked for. You shouldn't be out here trying to give it away to people who don't need it. A lot of these people don't need extra chances, extra shots at things that they don't respect. You cannot be out here doing this. You're weakening masculinity in whole whenever you celebrate the quick hit. You don't do anybody a service to people who are out here doing stuff the right way, which it should be no way that you get caught up in it. I can see how easily that you can get caught up in it, but at the end of the day, you don't need to be caught up in it. You go?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think saying it. I'm good on that.
Correct. And that's the actual thing, Lawrence guy. Besides, they only want someone to listen, not someone who can actually help them, much less invest in the work needed. Yes, because if somebody shows up right out of the blue and give you all the easy answers, the question that you think you won't answer, and you don't know what a proper solution looks like, you actually put yourself in a bad light trying to follow said individual.
Hmm. Lot of guys, um, coming to the space who have a lot of issues as well that are 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 actually bigger than what some of what these guys are talking about, but yet they may not fully even recognize that or care. Just it comes down to dollars and cents, so they push on, and some of these guys actually get terribly um, misserved, if that's such a word. Uh, so that's another that's another side of the coin. So I kind of the longer I've been around this manosphere and looked around, I've seen it's there's some very interesting aspects to this, and chat rooms and a lot of people who are there. A lot of people are here, who have a lot of issues. A lot of guys have had a lot of things go on in their lives where it's wounded a lot of people, broken a lot of people. And so some people are looking to be built up a bit more, and some of these people I think take advantage of some of that as well. So
Correct. And when you have too much talking and not too much action showing you the actual things, because remember, these people should be able to easily show off what they show off. I haven't posted it yet, but I just bought another truck and I'm gonna be posting the information on Patreon about the type of truck that I bought. And it's actually connected to what I do in actual real life, which is transportation. So when you have individuals who have a product that they can't demonstrate, but they think they got all these receipts because everybody is trying to make money off the actual sheer ignorance of people who don't understand those things from beginning to end and not willing to actually teach other people the proper way. This is what you run into because everybody's trying to find an easy ass way out. And it normally involves being in some nonsense like this.
yep, yep.
Yeah, Lawrence Guy made another good point. To make it worse, for those who seek the answers/solutions, haven't even taken the time to form the right questions to get them. Correct. And this is how they end up easily in the hands of those, scantily clad women and listening to this dumbass information from people who can't really help them because they thought, ooh, women, shiny, me go over there and get women. It's like, don't work like that, man. The actual culture hands down the people that is handed down. And most likely, you still need to get your stuff together so that way you can kind of shop within a different culture with your productivity so that way you can get a better result. Nobody teaches from things like that because it's practical. And nobody
You
wants practical solutions. But go ahead.
you, you just brought up a crazy good example. One of my friends just came back from uh, Brazil, South America. So my ex fiance down there, she had COVID, and she was able to get through it and made it. And he actually had a chance to speak to her while I was talking on the phone as well. He went by, but anyway, what I found quite interesting was his wife is Brazilian. She was, they were down there to visit her mom, and he's got two older boys. And the mom, Brazilian mom's down there, she's like, nah, let me talk to my relatives, my people here, so I make sure that you know Danny, when he gets out of school and it's time for him to make a move and find a good wife, that we have somebody already set up for him. And for young Nick, who's 15, he was over there. 13-year-old girl came over to sit down and meet with him, talking. He didn't speak Portuguese, but he was just, he's learning it. So he was just, kind of hanging out with the fam, and it's just beautiful young, young girl, coming over to meet him too. And, of course, nothing was going on, nothing else like that. This is all under the total consent of the families. But at the end of the day, these guys are going to be rolling with fly ass-looking women who can cook, who can clean, who can take care of a house, who can work as well, do the right things, treat him like a man, and not be caught up with anything crazy here. Because at the end of the day, they got their mom who's a brasileira, and they're over there already pre-hooking these dudes up, saying, "You ain't marrying no gringa americana fechado. You're not messing with one of these sucker legs. Ain't happening." So not going down. So they already got that type of culture taking care of that. What are you talking about right there? The culture's taking care of that.
Yeah, culture hands down the women, and like people don't understand it.
The culture, and it's not gonna be some fat blown out the frame pig sucker leg. It's gonna be alive, small waisted, nice thigh, small ankles, small feet, small hands, pretty smile, big lip, shiny eyes, cabello brillante, beautiful hair. It's gonna be Butterley. Ain't over here, man, talking about this bullshit with these suckerlados up here, snarling, curled up in the corner, ready to tear your ass out the frame.
Yeah,
Fuck up out of here. We down there in
you
October, which clears up. But I tell you,
there's a bunch of corn snakes, man. Like, what's going on?
I mean, the culture is handling that.
Yeah,
That's why I tell your brothers, get out of this mug, man. Go around the world a little bit, man. Don't. This ain't the only game in town. Believe me, get a wider view. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to speak another language. Bate papo, baby. Your world is huge. You gotta be sitting here thinking about this craziness going on. Dudes selling all kind of craziness, getting torn out the frame, doing it. Fuck all of that.
yeah.
Fuck that. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Sorry, MOT, I gotta call it out. My man just came back. The son, young boy, put him on the phone with me. I was like, "What's up, Nicky, baby?" He's like, "Oh man, it crazy, Mom, she already gonna hook me up already. Oh man, can you believe that?" I'm sitting there laughing like, "Mom's hooking him up." See, that's how
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
supposed
like,
to go.
I had somebody who graduated from my high school was the same way. This dude graduated from college. He had a super bad woman waiting on him. Wasn't on the market. Was still producing. That dude is doing extremely well right now. Could you imagine what would happen if you developed your own culture to where you're not even going to be worried about having your son or daughter out here digging through this garbage pile looking for something that's special? You already got something waiting on. And this is something that you can develop right now within your own life.
This is right. This is right here, right now. Like I used to say on City, today. This is today. Today. This is what's going down today. All right. You don't have to sit back and have to worry. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? There's some killer beauty is killer land for your way. Don't. That's out there. These dudes
And
are there.
beauty is easy. It's easy. It's not rare and super and special like it is you see online. Like it's like people maximize that stuff within their culture because that's what they're taught.
The
Right?
culture,
Yeah,
the culture taking care of him. When he comes, he's gonna have a feminine, sweet-looking, tight-waisted, full hip, full thighs, small ankles, small feet, nice, small, sexy hands.
like unused, man. Like
You know what I'm
most things
saying?
here have been through it, man. Been through it.
Long, smooth neck, moves like music, moves nice. A woman, live as fuck, and you're not gonna be over here tomorrow. Well, let me buy you that $13,000, sucker lay bag over here. It ain't rolling like that. You ain't gotta play that game with these sucker lays. These are 75, 80, 100 cock hoes. Y'all running behind, chasing behind that, gaming on that.
Yeah.
And dogs, man.
Gaming on people who are seeing your ass coming a mile. I'm like, dude, you walking down a wide open street and a sniper is like 200 feet from you.
Yo, man.
With your so-called game.
Yo.
Come on,
Pull up.
That don't make no sense.
Learn some French. Learn, parlez-vous français? Habla español, fala português. You know what I'm saying? Fala português. You know what I'm saying? Get out there. You know what I'm saying? Parlo italiano. Get on out here.
Yeah, man. Like you got to get out here. You got to travel around, man.
Fucks with some of it.
Otherwise,
learn all that Tagalog over there that they got, man. Somebody by the got going on out there, man, and mess around with some of that Thai women from Thailand and Burma, Vietnam, and these. Oh man, fellas, get up out this piece now. Guys, about SYSB, I've been SYSB a long time. I don't even want to get all into that because my view, you ain't really SYSB until you master the second language. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? In my view, you should be able to drop yourself somewhere in some spot on the globe that has a language, French, Spanish, or Portuguese, something like that. Or English, where you can get in there and do business. You can rap a little bit. Rap a little bit, get along a little bit, because that's where all this live stuff is. Man, this shit here is playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not here because the culture is set up for these people to have a hell of a lot more experience before they come in contact with somebody that's on an age per age basis, and you can't really match up severely used equipment with brand new fresh dudes, man. It's time for you to go out and get something as fresh as your circumstances. That's what you're supposed to be out here trying to purchase, something as fresh as your circumstances. You ain't supposed to try to negotiate something that have far more experience than you do and try to call it equal. Like that's what's been set up here for you already, and you shouldn't be out here actually doing that stuff. So
that's
I got to be able to go.
That's a fact. Go ahead, man.
So you got any last words before we get up out of here?
No, I'll say this. Eu falarei com todos aqui depois. Prazer. Boa noite. Go ahead, bro.
I want to thank everybody for coming through. I think you should go to the actual video that's on the screen and just sit back and just listen with an open mind, man. Because it's not so different for everybody else within the space practicing the same art craft here within the space. And we need to make sure that we're protecting our dudes out here from specific type of outcomes and not really feeding them into bad outcomes as an aside, so that way one group of people can survive over the other. This isn't something that we should be even getting caught up in as men even doing, because you can't have a generalized context of protection within the environment if you're trying to let other people survive off others within the environment itself. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. The Man Tomorrow. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a really nice day. Peace.
Hey.